Hello everybody, and today on Trendkillradio we talk Cranberry Singer's autopsy revealed, more bad news for Travis Barker, and what festival is no more. All this and more on Trendkillradio. What's going on everybody? This is Trendkillradio. I'm your host Sean Ryan, and my sometimes co-host Edgar. Jimothy and Coley are not here because this has been the slowest news week ever. In like the 8 months I believe we've been doing this show, I have never seen anything like this. There's like, I'm looking at all the other rock websites and stuff, and it has just been atrocious. This is going to be a short show. I mean, I'm going to try and just fill it with some videos and some just entertainment, just pleasing to the eye, because there's just not a lot going on. I mean, they're talking, it was somehow news that Metallica was reissuing And Justice for All. That's not even a news story. Bands reissue albums all the time. Jesus Christ, like, I can't believe how much everyone's just jerking themselves off over this. But, yeah, I don't know. We're going to get to some better news, hopefully. So let's just kick it off. As always, we start off with bad news first. Do you want to take this one? You know, I'm like, you're like this close to having one more bad show before you're just fucking done. I'm like, you're not adding anything to the goddamn show. Jesus Christ. Where's Jimothy when you need him? Let's just get it started. Okay, the Cranberries frontwoman Dolores O'Riordan. Excuse me if I don't get that right. Not good with last names. Back in January 15th, she passed away. And the autopsy report has just finally come out. Well, I don't know why it took this long. I mean, usually it takes like 8 weeks, but I mean, this has been months. What, 9 months? She died by drowning due to alcohol intoxication. It's fucking ridiculous. She was out in London. I believe at that time she was going to she was working on a new album. The night before she passed, she was seen earlier that day drinking heavily, and she was found by the maid the next morning around 9 a.m. She was wearing clothes too. That's what's crazy about it. Like there was nothing about foul play or anything like that, but she was wearing a long sleeve vest and pajama bottoms, and she was in the bathtub submerged up to her face. Her alcohol level though was 4 times the legal limit. I don't know what that's like out in England. I'm sure 4 times the legal limit is just like an average night out in the town. And there was also evidence of prescription drugs like Ativan. You know, it's a benzo. You know, just look up benzo. She had no signs of injuries and no evidence of self-harm, but she did struggle many years with bipolar disorder and excessive drinking. O'Riordan was set to do vocals on Bad Wolves' cover of the Cranberries' most famous and successful song, Zombie, which I'm sure you've probably heard that if you listen to the radio. I mean, Bad Wolves, they actually did a nice thing, though. They gave all the proceeds to her kids, I believe, and I think they are the first rock band to have a platinum song or album this year. Rock bands don't go platinum anymore, man. So, I mean, good for them. That's cool. The session was set to take place January 15th, like when she passed. Like, so I think it was supposed to be that day. There has been a lot, you know, as I mentioned in our last episode, there has been just a lot of death within the music scene. It seems like people are racing to get there at that final finish line, man. I don't know what the hell the goddamn deal is, but I mean, just yesterday, Mac Miller died. For any of you familiar with rap, you know, he was only 26. He had an accidental drug overdose, and, you know, now he's dead, too. We were just talking about Kyle Pavone last week, and we had mentioned so many, like, freaking names over the past couple of years. It's incredible. I don't know what... I just don't get it. I don't know what the hell's going on. So, to Dolores O'Riordan, you know, so that's terrible to hear. It's just another rock singer gone. Another rock singer gone too soon. And on to Blink-182. Of course, again, more bad news for Travis Barker. As we had reported earlier, about a month ago, Travis Barker, they had to cancel their Las Vegas residency due to having blood clots in his arms. You don't want to drum when you're doing that because it could lead to aneurysm or stroke or not good either way. Blink-182 had scheduled dates, 9-date tour, I believe. It was a weird tour, like a Midwest tour. And they've had to cancel all 9 dates, including their headlining gig at Riot Fest in Chicago, a place that I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to go to that festival. That Riot Fest is like fucking wild. They always have the best bands, and unfortunately I missed 2 years ago. I believe they had Prodigy, which they're never coming back to the U.S. They don't care. Travis Barker goes on to say that in the past few months have sucked as I have been sidelined and waiting for my doctors to clear me so I could get back to the road and perform with my band. Unfortunately, the risks associated with drumming are still too great. I'm doing everything I need to do so I can get back on the road as soon as possible. And I want to thank my fans, family, friends, and bandmates for all the love and support. It still looks like in terms of Blink-182's 2018 tour dates, October, they still have a residency, October 26th, 27th, all the way to November 17th. I believe it looks like about 8 or 9 days. It still looks like that's going on, unless doctors still shut them down one more time. I mean, that's something you don't want to fuck with your health. Yeah, we have seen so many cancellations of tours this year. I'm looking at it right now. I've actually made a little list. Mastodon and Dinosaur Jr., Power Man 5000 with Mushroom Head, Avenged Sevenfold, Prophets of Rage, Arch Enemy, Anthrax European Tour, Blink-182. There's been a handful of just like regular shows, Foo Fighters, Attila, Manson. Like it's been a crazy fucking year for cancellations, and it's a bummer for the fans. But I mean, I guess if you gotta take care of yourself, you gotta take care of your health. Sometimes it's family related issues, sometimes it's passport related issues. It blows, man. But hopefully next year we see all these bands that have canceled, they get back on the road and, entertain.
I should remind them I'm about to clean up like a Dyson, 'cause I just say how it is like Simon. I like the taste of alcohol, but got wine gum. I never wanna hear another siren. Them high rises can block your horizon. Disturbing London is the city that I'm from, where I feel like the tune we make the DJ rewind them. Yeah. I'm about to
And on to our final segment. We have lost a great festival. Columbus's own Rock on the Range is no more. After 12 years, it is done. Premier Independent U.S. Music Festival producers, Jesus Christ, Danny Wimmer Presents, which is like the worst fucking name ever, have announced that the new Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival, a 3-day event, will debut at Mapfre Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, on Friday, May 17th, 18th, and 19th, and will feature premium food and beverage selection, art installations, plus expanded on-site experiences like never before to accompany a spectacular and diverse music lineup that will be announced in the coming months. Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival has completely replaced Rock on the Range. Rock on the Range, that was like one of the best festivals. I mean, it's been going on for like 12 years, and I'm not 100% sure about the rest of America. I know, of course, like California has like the best festivals. in terms of music or whatever. You will see mashups and bands playing together that you will never see anywhere else. Unless you're like across the continent or something like that. I do hear like great things happen in Europe, but I digress. Rock on the Range, like that like means something to me because not only is it in Ohio, but I've been there. I saw like when Stone Temple Pilots got back together. I saw when Alice in Chains got back together. I've seen Slipknot and Avenged Sevenfold and to a lesser extent Chevelle, but Clutch and Korn and Motley Crue. I mean, like the best of the best rock bands have always played there, and it's unfortunate that it's coming to an end. And there's very little detail going on with this Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival. It sounds like an art show with a bunch of food, because like that's what America wants, just more food. Yeah. So this guy Danny Wimmer and his company Danny Wimmer Presents. He's responsible for Louder Than Life, Monster Energy Aftershock Festival, Welcome to Rockville, Bourbon and Beyond, and more. And he's the co-creator of Rock on the Range. And I don't really know. They're not really exactly saying what happened, why they want to stop Rock on the Range. I don't know how different it's going to be. But Rock on the Range, that was a pioneer in terms of like rock festivals or whatever. I mean, you've always had like Lollapalooza, this and that, and Ozfest, and but this one it kind of reinvented the game. If you've never been there, I mean, that was a wild fucking show. Every year, for the years that I was actually there, it was always great. They always do it in May, which blows because it's still cold in Cleveland in May. I remember one year I was there. And it got so damn cold that I had to like just go find shelter and hide behind a refrigerator or whatever, because it like the back of it was producing warmth. I mean, back then I was like 180 pounds, so I was very skinny, very thin, very cold. But I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on with this. I mean, I hope it's not going to be another thing like Coachella or Lollapalooza that's just put rock to like the sidelines, really. In more recent years, like your headliners are a lot of like indie and hip hop and pop acts. This was Rock on the Range for 12 years, and I hope they kind of stick with something similar of a format. I don't really. It's so vague what this story really is and what they're planning on doing. So we're going to see that coming up very soon. But I can guarantee that we will be talking about it here on Trendkillradio. So always tune in every week. But they go on to say that this growth is essential for rock festivals to hold their own against their cousins in other genres. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be all rock anymore, which blows. But we are about to embark on the next generation of rock festivals this spring. So who the hell knows? I mean, maybe they're talking more like, they're going to get 21 Pilots or something over Shinedown. But I am curious to see what the announcements are going to be like. Like I said, this is going to be in May, so the announcements should be coming up probably towards the end of the year, early 2019. Oh, God, that's scary to say. 2019, we're already almost there. But always be sure to come back to Trendkill Radio. We will always cover things like this, of this nature, all rock acts. What do you think it's going to be? Let us know in the comments. What do you want to see? If you live in Ohio and you've been to Rock on the Range, I mean, what are you curious to see? And that is going to be it for Trendkill Radio tonight. Like I said, this was a very quick, simple show. There was not a lot of news. I do not want to divert too much away from rock news. I know even some of the other channels, they're talking about Mac Miller and all that, which is, it's just unfortunate, but I mean, this is a rock show and this is how I want to keep things. It didn't even warrant having Jimothy come over or Coley or doing a full show. Clearly not a full show. But I thank you guys so much, and we fucking did it. This is normally where I would say, hey, I want you guys to subscribe. But we got to over 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Like, I know it may seem like 100's not very much in terms of YouTube world because people have millions for doing stupid shit like, let me show you how to contour your makeup. I'm going to comment on fucking Call of Duty or whatever. Not actually play the game, but just comment. That's fucking stupid. We actually try to give you like real content to the best of our ability. But like I said, not a lot goes on every week. This has been the slowest news week I've seen in years. Weeks, months, whatever. So thank you guys so much. If you want to just pop over to Facebook or whatever, you can give us a like if you want. Facebook.com/Trendkillradio216. And again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you very much. I am Sean Ryan. This is Edgar. Fucking useless. God. See what you made me do? Thank you. Have a good night.